Welcome everyone. Good to have you all here. Um, First, before we start today's talk, I want to point a few things out. First thing is today's podcast is gonna be very different than the previous one, where the previous podcast I sent like a list of points that we should address during the podcast. This time, this is all fully improvised, and I
Hmm.
haven't prepared everybody in advance. So it's gonna be very interesting. The reason why I did it is I felt like the previous time having like a list to follow was kind of limiting, and it was like very linear, where here it's kind of interesting to see how this conversation will turn out in the end. It's really kind of takes off this limitation. So that's one thing I wanted to address.
Hmm.
And lastly, I wanted to say like what is the purpose of this talk, because I didn't do it last time, and I'll take the opportunity to do it this time. This is really all about like sort of having a tour in each other's mind and kind of see a certain topic that's probably relevant to all of us from different perspectives and from different angles. This is not like a debate or an educational podcast of some sort. So that's that. And without further ado, let's jump right into meeting our guests for today, Fwaire and Geezer, or Guy. Um,
Yep.
so how are you
Hello.
guys? How your days have been? Was What are you up to?
Yeah, it's been busy at work. The usual.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah,
A work day.
yeah. So we're all hyped up, all high energy. All right, let's start. Let's start easy and see how it's going. So I wanted to really talk about a subject that's like confidence
Hmm.
and everything that's connected to confidence. It's not like directly like I don't know people. Wait. Let's start over. What's the first association when you hear the word confidence that comes to your mind? That's very interesting to me.
Did I go first?
Yep.
I guess when you hear about confidence, you think about someone who's very loud, very kind of sure of themselves. That's what I think of when I think of confidence. Someone who's very sure of themselves and can kind of hold their own.
So like in a social situation, like if someone is in a group of people and
Um, Not necessarily. It can be in all aspects of life. So very confident in sort of their work or in social situations or even just in kind of mundane things as well.
mhm,
I think it can kind of affect all aspects of life.
interesting. What about
Yeah.
you, guy?
So, um, when you said loud, I was like, I was trying to think to myself if you look at it in a negative or in a negative way. Um, but I think when I think of confidence, is just belief in yourself that you can do, anything. I mean, let's say you go into a place and you have the confidence that you can do it, or that you are good, or um, that everything is possible. So
Hmm.
if you come confidence, let's say to a stream, so you come with a feeling that you have something to offer, and that you know that in time people will come, and so that's like specifically about streaming.
So sort of
Uh,
having faith in yourself.
yeah, in my opinion, yeah, that's a belief in your abilities to conquer whatever goal you have. So like the confidence in yourself and your abilities.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. Well, my take on it is it's gonna be a little bit long and like fancy, I'd say, but I had a lot of time to think about it. I work in like a security work where I have a lot of time, so I had a little bit of thinking about the subject, and I would like to share it. So I think there are a few different kinds of confidence. I think there's perceived confidence and there's felt confidence, if it makes sense. So if you've ever met like someone who's like, you didn't thought he's confident at first, but then he turned out very confident, or vice
Hmm.
versa, where you don't feel confident, yet people do perceive you as a confident human. So I think you have the combinations of like these two types of confidence, so felt and perceived confidence. You can have both, you can have only one of them, and you can have neither. Um, Also, I think confidence is very situational. So there's a stigma that generally goes with confidence, like um, a confident person, right? Like, I'll be honest with you guys. A lot of people who know me are saying like I'm not a very confident human being, which I can agree to a certain extent, but it's really depends on which area you are talking about. Like if you ask me now, go to a bar and pick up like the hottest girl, I'll probably be like, I won't know what to do, right? I will be very unconfident. Both I will not feel confident, and she will know I'm not confident. However, if you like start a conversation like about League of Legends or about marketing, um, so I will have probably a lot more confidence. So I think this term, like confident man, I think that's really how to say it's really situational. I think we're all confident in some areas and less confident in certain areas. And I think when you like tell someone you don't have confidence, actually lowering their confidence even more. So I'm really against that. Um, so that's my take on it. Thank you for the patience.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I
uh,
think confidence is something that, of course, it comes with trial and failure, like or success. I mean, it's something that you have to build with yourself by trying other things. I think one of the things of conquering fear is just to have the confidence or build the confidence through trial and error. Uh, but by trying things and I do something and I see I'm alive, or maybe I'm even good at it. That builds me that confidence in that field.
yeah, that's
Um,
true.
so so I guess building the confidence is what you get when you face the fear or any fear that you do have. Um, Looking at confidence or fear as something that is here to protect you, but um, something that you can step over. Um, it's like when someone tells you he gives me confidence. So what does that mean? That means he's telling me that I can do it, or he's telling me that if I do it, nothing bad would happen. So he
Hmm.
gives me the confidence um, that I'm in a safe place and I can try and maybe be good at it.
Hmm.
I think.
Well, I think like what you just said is a lot of times, and even most of the times, um, confidence is like laid on other people. So imagine like um, you are like practicing doing the 10,000 hour challenge, right? And like in on guitar, so you're like a professional guitar player, yet nobody ever admires your guitar playing. Like, will you be confident that you're a good? Will you have this validation that you're a good guitar player? I think like confidence is very highly dependent on like um, on other people. Also, like in Twitch, for example, I'll try to take it a little bit to like the sphere of us and the viewers. Um, when you're like streaming, I don't know about like your streaming career, but like for me and Fwaire, for example, there are like parts of the stream where we have like no viewers, for example, right? And I feel, or at least I felt at first, I kind of have some tricks how to overcome it. But I feel like if like there are zero viewers or like one viewer, like I have this like very low confidence. And then like as
Hmm.
soon as I see
Sure.
someone's chatting with me, like it's like going up all over the place. And then like at the same time as it going up, I'm also getting nervous because I don't want to lose this viewer. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I need like to, be like very engaging and fun.
Mm.
And then if
I
he
think with
leaves, oh, one sec, and if he leaves, like this is going even lower. So this is like a vicious cycle that's like I think many new streamers are facing.
yeah, I think that's a big problem with something like this where it's so reliant on someone else. I've always been taught that to sort of build your confidence, you got to set yourself goals which you can manage and you have control over. So, for instance, say my goal is to stream 3 times this week.
Mm-hmm.
So that you have control over, you can be proud of yourself for streaming 3 times that week. But if you have your goals on, oh, I want this many viewers, that's when you start kind of stressing yourself out, losing confidence if it doesn't go your way. And unfortunately, with streaming, it will fluctuate.
Yeah.
It's always going to. So it is difficult, but you got to try not to put too much on the viewer, which, yeah, it's very difficult.
You want to say
Yeah,
something?
but I think you don't need to. D- I mean, it can help to have someone who can help you with your fear, or build you
Yeah.
that confidence. But I think it's not a good thing to you know put all your confidence in someone, because
Mm.
there's a saying in Hebrew that if something is depending on something, then if you don't have that something, you don't have the confidence. So you want to
First time I
be.
hear it. Sorry, first time I hear this saying.
They say it on love,
Good
that if
saying.
if your love if your love to someone is dependent on something, then what happened when that something goes away? It's a bad thing. Okay.
Hmm.
Um. So I think that you want that people to build you that confidence, but you want to be as confident as you can be without them as well, so you can go by yourself. And the next time, again, it's not just streaming, but everything you do, you want that to be able to do it alone, and maybe in a different area. Uh, when you talk to confident people, then it's not just one thing, right? It's just like whatever they do is like, yeah, no problem, I'll try it,
Hmm.
or I'll do it, or what you want me to sing? Well, okay, whatever, I'll sing. I don't care. I have that confidence in myself that I'm okay and I'm all right, and even if I'm a bad singer, then it would be funny or something.
Yeah.
uh, and again, it's a lot of um, you have to just believe in, again, it's a believe in yourself and your qualities, and that you're good at what you do, and that you have some value,
Hmm.
and it's a lot about that. I mean, again, confidence can be built, not just through trials and error, but in self-belief. Like, you can build that, I think.
Well, I think that I really agree with what you said about like being dependent on someone. I want to take it a little step further. Um, Being dependent or something, or having expectations that are not up to you, will almost guaranteed lower your confidence, if it makes sense. So for example, a lot of times we set like goals that depend on other people, or how people will like perceive our content or our
Hmm.
looks. Some people may not like our look, for example, and you can't control it. So you shouldn't really like put too much emphasis on it, and focus on like what you can control. And also what I think like about building confidence, As you said, it's about this trial and error and having those little moments of um, success, as Fwaire said, um, but in those areas that you can control. And also, as a result, you will like receive knowledge, and I think knowledge is key to success, to confidence, because um, let's say, for example, you're at a new job and you're like in an IT company or something, and they at first they tell you to do something that you don't know, you will feel unconfident and nervous. But the more you practice something, the more you get the knowledge, and you know how like this situation will behave. You sort of know the future. Um, you will automatically get more confident from like practicing and getting knowledge and having like realistic and expectations and goals that are like up to you, if it makes sense.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Do you think like that confidence is um, important, like is a vital point of a streamer? Like, does a streamer have to be like always like cheerful and talkative and engaging, or is there like a too much point?
I think it
La-
depends on the situation, really, because I think a lot of people watch streamers to see the human aspect. So if you are having a bad day and you show that to your followers, obviously don't come into a stream and be in a really
Hmm.
foul mood. No one wants to really watch that. But yeah, people quite like the human aspect of it. So I don't feel like you have to put on as much of the front as in maybe some other kind of jobs that are public facing. Um, but at the same time, you do need to have some kind of confidence to be able to interact with your stream as well. Um, yeah, I don't know about you, Geezer.
I think you got to be energetic to some level because, of course, you don't want it to be too much unless it's, that's what you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you are, then okay. But you want to give some energy to the stream because in the end, um, people come here to be entertained. Okay, that's the purpose. If as a streamer or a content creator, you don't understand that you are an entertainer like any other entertainer, then uh, you won't succeed. I think, in my opinion. I mean, you have to understand that you are here to entertain the people that watch, and that no one wants to see someone who is dead on stream. Let's say
Yeah,
it like
yeah,
so. You do want to have that confidence. You do want to show some energy. I know that a lot of people that watch big streamers, they say that this is like the highlight of their day. They finish their job, or they're in some kind of depression, and they have that streamer that builds them up, gives them hope. Um, I'm a fan of Dr. Disrespect, so he talks about that a lot, about the fans and about all the emails that he get, and I think that. But I don't think it is confidence. I mean, I can be confident in myself, and I can tell you that I am streaming for about 4 years right now, and I'm
wow.
still not partnered or even on the way to be partnered. Um, my viewer count um, is very low, but it doesn't hurt my confidence. It just let's say like that, I'm confident enough to my abilities that I can say, okay, it's not me, it's the things that I'm doing or not doing to make my stream bigger. So I know that I'm an okay guy. My problems are in what I'm willing or not willing to do for my streaming career. Um, and I think a lot of people, they go into that. I mean, all people that come into streaming after like 2 or 3 months that they don't grow, they're like, okay, something's wrong. What am I doing wrong? Um,
So true.
it's like they're trying to reflect it on themselves, on what is wrong with me, instead of saying, okay, this is a market, this is a very this is like any other business. If this was my business, would I act the same? Would I be you know I would do much, if that was a shop, I would do much more to sell than what I'm doing right now on my stream, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would put much more money, I would be much more active. And people that do put the money and do put the time and do understand that it's a business, they will succeed pretty much. And if not, then maybe they'll succeed because someone is nice to them, or maybe they'll succeed because they're very interesting or very funny people. But
Mm-hmm.
in the end, the big people that you see here, even the guys with like everybody's partnered, even like that that 75 viewer count, that's considering it a business and working on it full time. Um, but I think you can have the confidence to stream and still be kind of small, but for that you have to understand that it's not just about what you do, it's on stream, it's more about what you do off stream. um, I can tell you that, for example, I see you play guitar, right?
Yes.
So you believe that you're, let's say, a good guitar player? I don't know.
I think I'm an okay guitar player.
So, so would you have the confidence to play on stream, do something on stream, give on stream? Like,
Yeah, I did already for a fact.
oh, you did.
Yeah.
So you know
Um.
that
Very good.
again.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, really?
Thanks.
So again, you want to concentrate on that field that you are confident in. So,
No, I'm getting
um,
absolutely what you're saying. I really picked up the thing that it should be natural in like there are two types of streamers in my opinion. There are streamers where that they do it like because they like it and it's sort of coming natural to them, this confidence. And there are streamers who do it because they watch big streamers and they see, okay, they're super rich, they are super famous, everybody likes them, they like have meaning, purpose to their life, and I'm like some depressed dude that's working a 9 to 5 job. Why shouldn't I become a full-time streamer? Like it's that easy, right?
Mm.
So when you have that in mind, I think that's the wrong approach. But I think we already addressed that in the last podcast episode. But when it comes to like confidence on stream, um, it's either it comes naturally or you should really work. And as you said, everyone, like for me, it's guitar, League of Legends, and I try to stick to those things. And I also try to make those things interesting. So um, like if I just played League of Legends, I would be like another guy that plays League of Legends out of 200,000. But you know, if you try and combine different skills that you have, skills that you feel confident at, and apply it as well with some creativity, which I think really important. Um, that's really like the formula, sort of. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what you were saying. You've got to be. I guess you don't have the most confident person in the world, but you've got to be confident in your skills and confident enough to keep going when it's kind of not going how you expect it, and kind of to keep driving forward and to try new things as well. So kind of bringing on your guitar onto stream, that is a very nerve-wracking thing to do. So that does require lots of confidence, even if you think you are a good enough guitar player. It's very different playing guitar at home on your own to then putting it on a stream for people to
mhm,
watch. So
yeah.
in that respect, you definitely need confidence to stream.
What do you think about like confident? Like we're saying confidence way too much. Like let's say it's important like on stream, right? But let's say for example on outside, as like Geezer said, um, outside of streaming, like for example Instagram, putting out posts, Twitter, like being active on Discord, and putting time. I think putting time also requires confidence and belief in yourself. But more than that, like sharing maybe pictures of yourself and all of that. I think that's also requires so much confidence, like outside of just streaming.
Mm.
What about real life? How do you guys feel about your personal? If you want to share your personal experiences with confidence in real life, like how do you guys think you are doing with confidence?
Did you want to go first, or shall I?
You should go first.
Okay.
I'll think of an
Um,
answer.
confidence has always been a bit weird for me because I'm one of those people where everyone talks to me and kind of says, "Oh, you're really confident." And I've had a job before where I've spoken in front of, I think the largest crowd did a speech in front of was about 1,000 people.
Wow.
So public speaking, I'm perfectly happy with. I'm really confident. I know what I'm going to do, and it's kind of like I'm not being myself. I'm in presenter mode, so it's not me. Um,
That's a
but
big plus, by the way. You know that most people in the world, their biggest fear is talking in front of crowds. So if you master
yeah,
that, you
that I
master
can
one of
do.
yeah.
I've never had a problem, but when it comes to kind of being myself, that's where my issues are. So, for instance, interviews for a new job, I absolutely crumble and often just freeze and just can't answer any questions.
Hmm.
Wow.
Um, it's really bizarre. I'm fine with talking to lots of people, but I can't just talk about myself. I'm better at it now, but it's still kind of something I have to really fight against every day.
Hmm.
Weirdly.
Yeah,
Um,
but when you talk to crowds, I think you can wear that mask. You know,
mm,
you're not you're really bigger than your body in that situation. And when you're one on one, it's just person to person, and
mm,
you're well, it's COVID-19, but you usually sit closer to the person, you
mm,
see them more personally, and um, I think sometimes that 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 needs the confidence. It's a different kind of thing. Um,
mm,
I think for my personal experience, I feel that I'm a pretty confident guy, but it's just because I have never stopped myself from trying new things.
mm,
Um, I never felt the limits of participating in sports, doing music, writing, singing, whatever. I've just really tried a lot of things, and I think what that gave me is thank you. What that gave me is that confidence in myself that in a lot of different fields.
mm,
Um, I do have the fear of not standing in expectations. I do still have that, but it's much easier on me. Um, we were talking about our age before, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
So I'm like 10 years above you, right?
Yes.
About so I believe again, confidence is something that is built. So I believe 10 years from now, if you keep streaming, if you keep trying, if you keep you know maybe go to school, study. I'm actually finishing. I'm trying to finish right now my first degree in B Science in engineering. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and when I came, it's 4 years of study in the university, and when I came to it, I was like, I was really bad in high school. Like I hardly finished it,
Mm-hmm.
and I came to it with no confidence at all.
Mm-hmm.
But and my two first tests I failed. So I was like, very I was never confident. But then you pass one test, and
Hmm.
that gives you a little bit, and then you passed another one, another one, and today I don't think I have any problem to do anything with you know mathematics or physics. I'm confident that I can do that because I have tried and succeeded, not in all fields, and sometimes I did better and sometimes I did much worse. But um, again, it's something that comes with your experiences um, and your again trials and errors.
Yeah, definitely think kind of practicing and kind of learning from your failures is a big part of it as well. Because you're never going to be good at something straight away. It's just not how the world works.
Yeah,
So the more you practice at something, the more confident you'll be in that area. You just got to have the confidence to push yourself out there and actually try it in the first place.
But
and be consistent. I mean, someone there is a Israeli guy named Alik Zevi who is like a world professional judo
mhm.
fighter, and he said I was never the best judo fighter. I just never stopped. I just never quit. I just kept going on and kept moving. And if you look at the biggest stars in soccer, in mostly in sport, it's just the guys that were consistent for the longest time.
Mhm.
Okay, because when you're a professional runner, you don't run 3 months and then you say, oh, maybe I'll be a high jumper, and then you go and do a high jump for 3 months, and then, oh, you know what, I want to be I don't know, the best chess player in the world, and then I play chess for 3 months, and then I'm like, you know what,
Yeah.
I'll do something else.
That's
It's like
definitely
you have to be consistent for a long time and understand that it's a path you got to do, and you gather around the people that give you the confidence in the beginning, and then just more and more people join.
something.
I mean, I just look at your stream right now. You have like 7 viewers. That's not a few. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, what I do, I don't even know how many viewers I have now. I like hide it to boost my
okay,
confidence. That's like life
sorry.
hack for you guys.
So all the 650 people that are here
Yeah.
and listening to
Whoa.
you
Well, I'm a big shot. Keep going.
think that you're interesting and amazing, and yeah. I mean, it does give you confidence when people like it, and I mean, we're all
Yeah.
especially in society today, we all live for that
Mm.
like and retweets and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think it needs to be a mix of kind of confidence from yourself and confidence from other people, whether it's the viewers or maybe you've got a partner in your life who kind of really pushes you and helps you out. It kind of it you, even if you don't want to rely wholly on someone else, it is always so much easier if you've got someone pushing you as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
For me, it's um, like let's say about getting like being the best at something. Like for me, I
Mm,
always, since I was like a kid, my dream was like to be a huge guitar player, like
mm,
Slash, Kirk Hammett, all these guys that I was like admiring them, and like I know what it takes, and but there's always this question. I don't know if it's just me or it's everyone. Like, why me? Like, what if I will put all this effort, all this time, all this money, which is a lot of money to become like good at
mm,
something, like good
yeah,
and admired by others. Um, so it takes all this effort, and then like I'm gonna end up with like wasted life. This sort of mentality is always stopping me of like devoting myself to something.
yeah,
And I think that's actually many people. That's the reason why people like they try 3 months and they take this some sort of like an indicator to how the rest of their career is gonna look like. So they just keep trying different things until they find something that they like will succeed straight away. Um, but yeah, it's really, if you have someone that's like sort of like always supporting you, like a relationship or something, I think that's like very nice. But that's also like you can't like depend on this, because sometimes people just tell you you are good, just to tell you you are good, but they like lying to you sometimes, which is like the opposite
Hmm.
of good. So it's really an interesting question, like should you like build it on your own, or should you like trust on other people? And it's really like, I don't think there's like a certain answer to this, because
Mm.
you kind of need both of those, like, I think.
I think with the all, I think I believe in the all in mentality. Like if you go half ass, you're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna make it. Um, I truly believe in the all in. Um, and people, again, people that have made it, they've been all in it, if it's by choice or not by choice. Um, um, but you gotta be all in it to succeed, in my opinion. So, for for example, the streaming, you got to put, if you want, the streaming room of that would look good. If you want the good cameras, the good lighting, the good internet, the good computer, you got to put your money and effort to it. And if you really want to be, uh, you know, controlling the social medias and doing it on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, that's a full time.
Yeah.
And if you wanna make YouTube videos from your last stream, and you wanna be a part of communities, and you wanna try new things, and it's got to be full time. So you got to be all in it. Um, I think I talked to you about it actually. Um,
They did,
I was
yeah.
like, I was like, just take like 6 months, 7 months, a year. I don't know. And I always give Harris Heller, you know that guy,
Of course, yeah.
Alpha Alpha Gaming,
Yeah,
Alpha Gaming, right?
yeah, yeah.
If you, I don't know if you heard his story, but he was trying for a long time to do it, and
He
his
was doing
wife
like
was,
vines or something, and he was like very successful with it, I think.
yeah, but his wife, he wasn't making any money from it, and then his wife told him, "Listen, you have 3 months. You can do whatever you want, but after those 3 months, if you don't succeed, you get a job."
Hmm.
And again, that's what I told you to do. I mean, take 6 months, okay? But in those 6 months, don't be lazy.
Yeah,
Do all you can in those 6 months, so you'll succeed. Put all your money in it, and if not, then you can go back to security work, or university, or whatever. I mean, I
right,
can tell you, I can tell you, in a different view. In Israel, we have mandatory service for the army, right?
right.
Mm.
So we can say a lot of things about, people from the UK that maybe don't do service, and in the end, in age 25, 26, we're most of us are in the same place. Okay.
Hmm.
So the fact that you're gonna put a year into that is not gonna destroy your life, or make you poor for the rest of your life, or it's not. So you'll start your life when you're 23 and not when you're 22. So what? Or when you're 32 and not 33. So what? A year in our lifetime is a lot, but it's really nothing when you compare it to other things. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah, I get
Mm.
exactly what you mean, and I think it's
And
really, really good advice.
and
Mm.
if you don't, the worst part, and that is what I had and what I still have, is the worst part is not trying. Because
Hmm.
when you say, uh, when you have that thing in your mind always saying to you, well, you have a nice job, but what if I was a big streamer and had, a million time more fun? And what if I put more time in my music and I'd be a famous singer right now or a famous guitar or whatever player? Um, so there's I like the saying that you only live once, so you'll never so you don't okay you only live once, so you should never think twice. You understand?
Yeah, it's
Mm.
very absolutely. I like the very much what you said. I think I'm gonna apply it as well.
Yeah, I'm
Like
definitely the kind of person who overthinks, so I think I need that as well.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Like
Because the worst thing that can happen to you is when you're 60 and it's not over, but
You're full of
it's
regret.
kind it's kind of over. Yeah.
so maybe I should open a bakery like at 60. I always wanted to be a baker.
Yeah. So do it now, or why wait?
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely find that I'm 31 now, and a lot of my friends, myself included, are having sort of almost midlife crisis, even though we're not
Yeah.
technically at that age yet. But I've just completely changed my career. My boyfriend's just completely changed his career, and a few of my best friends are as well. And it's just kind of everyone got to this point and realized, what am I doing? Why am I doing this when I'm not happy? Uh, it's time to do something else. And I guess having that confidence to go and really go out there is quite difficult, and it takes a lot of working up to do. I was in a job which, so I loved the job, but it wasn't very good for my mental health, and it took me years to actually pick up the courage to leave, because I was like, but what
Yeah.
if it all goes wrong and I'm end up jobless? And you know what, my new job is terrifying, but it's going, so I've been paid. And yeah, I wouldn't have. It's taken a lot to build up the confidence to be able to leave. But I think it's important to kind of listen to yourself when you know that you need something else.
It's very hard to go out of your safe place
Mm,
when you're a good place. You got a good salary. You know that there will be no surprises tomorrow. It's just gonna be the good all day.
yeah.
And but again, it comes to back to I think the confidence in just saying, I have the abilities. I will,
Mm,
I will cope. Whatever life brings to me, I have the tools to cope. And if everything just goes wrong, I'll just go to my old job, or I'll just go to something that is maybe like my old job, and then think again. But
But there's
I
also
mean,
like
where you're
different.
not, I think it's again, it's life is too short to just be in that bad job, bad place, and I'm actually in that place right now, and I've actually done the just 2 days ago, I did like the big step of saying, okay, this is enough. I talked to my boss saying, okay, I want to leave, and the relief that I got after that was just crazy. I mean, um, yeah, but again, having that confidence that you can cope with the future or whatever would come to me, I would cope with it.
mm. Guess it's partly to do kind of resilience as well. You know you can cope with it. You know you'll be able to bounce back if it doesn't go right as well.
But
Yeah,
but that's not only like if I will be able to cope with it or like if I will be able to go back. That's also for me personally. It's like I have like responsibilities that
Mm,
if I screw up, like things can go very wrong. Like when like I'm trying to do something like a little bit too extreme, like my mind like projects scenarios that are like might not happen but can potentially happen. So, for
mm,
example, uh, let's say you have like kids, you're like saying you don't like your job, So you quit your job, but then you're like, what about the kids? Like, will you have enough money to pay for their schools, for their educations, stuff like that? So that's
Yeah,
also,
it's gotta be smart, not reckless, right?
yeah, just
But again, the older you get, the more responsibility and the harder it will get to you.
mhm.
When you'll get married, have a mortgage, and three kids, you'll have a hard time to change your life. You're gonna have much harder, if any, ability to quit your job, invest a lot of money in something else other than your kids and mortgage. So my advice to you, when you're young, just do it when you're young. Like yeah, just do it when you before you have kids. And
Anyone who's like over 30 industry, GG, well play. You're done.
yeah,
uh,
I mean,
I don't know. Like for me, I think that's a different time. Like um, there's a lot of more opportunities when it comes to like options than it was before. So I think even people who are like 30 or even 40, they like become streamers. They change completely their careers. It's not like it was
yeah,
before that you do like one thing
Mm.
and you would never stray from it. And we like all of us probably got this education from our parents. They were like, you're gonna be an engineer, you're gonna be an IT technician. Like that's what I heard a lot from my family, and that's
yeah.
also
That's Generation X kind of
yeah. But now I
like
think like
have one job from when you're 20 till you're 80 and get your paycheck and shut up, kind of.
yeah, and you have to like make a family, live normal life, etc. But when it
Yeah.
comes to kids, nowadays, like I talk to many people who are like outside of um, outside of my age. Like most of my friends are like older than me. Um, so I talked to them about that. Like, how do they feel? Like they're 30 and like they still haven't found exactly what they want to do, and they like jumping between things. But that's like completely normal. However, like as you said about like having a lot of responsibilities when you're 30,
Hmm.
uh, I really that's really interesting to me because I still see people like changing, specifically at this age. I know one podcast owner. You might have heard of him. His name is Shlomi Chaster. He has a podcast named Mindset. It's a very very good podcast, and he started it when he had like a 4 year old girl, and he was raising her. He has mortgage everything, and he was working in like a digital marketing company, I think. And he said, I want to start a podcast, and he left everything somehow. I have no idea. I hear many stories like it, but people do it, and he succeeded a lot. But I think that's one of the bigger podcast owners in Israel.
Mm.
Wow.
But that's an interesting topic. Like when you have those limitations, like I think you just need to like do a fluid transition, like not stop everything at one time, but sort of like have savings and maybe rely on those savings and then try and do
Yeah,
something
but
else.
Mm.
but the thing with the fluid is that I'll think you'll find out later in life that you never really feel confident in what you have. You always
No.
want that bigger house, more stuff. You're like, you know what? Maybe next year, maybe next year, maybe next year. So I don't think that, again, the half-ass kind of mindset. I don't think, and you just talked about Shlomi. I don't know him, but look what he's done. He went from he put everything on the line for that,
Yeah,
and he succeeded much. In my opinion, much to that fact that he said, "Okay, that is what I'm doing.
yeah,
My life depends on that, so I have to succeed." And now let's see me fail when it's all on the line, because you got to put something on the line to really have. When you don't have anything on the line, you're just, you know what, maybe I'll do it, maybe I'll not. When you have all that thing on the line, when you have to succeed, that's when you start to work hard.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly. Like this, the do or die approach.
Yeah.
Um, it just naturally takes your skills to another level, I think, and the chances of you succeeding. Like, for example, when if we go like naturally all the way back when we were like ancestor humans, in my opinion, like when you had like the fight or flight situation, like you would probably run a lot faster because you had a lot more to lose, right?
Yeah.
Like you automatically maximize and put everything you've got into
You
this.
would have you'd have that survival mode where you just
Yeah,
again it's like
it's exactly that. It's exactly that.
Mm.
You have put everything online, online, like yeah, online.
online as well.
Yeah, um, that's risky, but because
Mm.
I have that sort of. I don't have like kids and stuff like that, but I help a lot to my family, and I pay for rent and food and everything myself. So if I like decide, okay, I'm probably not gonna quit my job. Let's say I'm going like full time streaming. I'm probably not gonna quit my job, but I might do like half a wage, and then put all of the rest. I probably won't be able to pay my rent, etc., etc. And you know that's interesting.
I know one Overwatch streamer that he has a bar of the donation bar,
Yeah.
and the title is "Pay My Rent." It's like $600, and it
It's
starts
amazing.
it starts new like every month, like pay my rent and then $600.
Amazing.
So it's really nice, but yeah, I wouldn't tell you the story of life for that, but yeah, I mean, you do have to risk something.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm definitely gonna do probably to a certain extent. As you said before, I think that that's something I probably will take from the stream onwards, because this was like the opposite of my approach to things. Like I'm super careful person. Like I need to have
Mm.
everything under control,
Yeah,
and you know, picturing scenarios. That's like the worst thing. Like the thing I probably hate the
Yeah.
most about myself. Like, and it's probably not even gonna happen. Like a lot of times things just work out naturally. Like this stream, for example, I was super nervous. I didn't have any script. I have uh, Geezer, which I like talked briefly to on Facebook, and Fwaire, which I known for like a few weeks now. But who could have known how this would turn out? But to my surprise, it turned out perfectly well, and I met like amazing people. So
Ah.
that's that. Yeah, that's like the things that it many times it works out this way for me.
Mm.
yeah,
Like somehow all those things that you were so scared of like they don't turn, and even if it does, like it's not the end of the world. Even like if you fail or like something doesn't go the way you expected it, um, that's not the end of the world. You can just try
Mm.
again.
Yeah, I guess you got to try not to put yourself down if it doesn't go the way you planned. You got to kind of think more logically, kind of what went wrong, what could I improve next time. Like you said with the first podcast you did, you weren't sure if you enjoyed the format yourself, so you've
Yeah,
changed it and you seem happy with it now, which is good. So it's just kind of making sure you can pick yourself up
yeah. But
and
the
kind of
script,
keep going.
the script that he wrote, just I think it came from wanting to control the situation and
Mm,
making sure that I have something to say all the time. Correct me if I'm
yeah.
wrong.
yeah, that's absolutely true. The first time I did, like, I don't like calling it podcast. It's because it's more of like a discussion. Um,
Mm,
but but the first time I did it, I had like 2 pages of a Word um, file that I wrote in detail every like 10 minutes or like 5 minutes
Every
of the
word.
stream, every word, like, and before it, I was like planning what I'm gonna say, like each second, like all the points I want to say. And as soon as it started, I blacked it all out, and I was very like I didn't know what to say. And then
Mm.
um, after it went on for a few minutes, I was starting to look every second for this like checklist. Okay, I don't know what to say. I'm gonna look at the checklist right now. But this time, I think that's a cool way, like not having anything at all to say. But it's good like when it's this sort of discussion when there's no really much of a point outside like of talking about something. But if
Mm.
there's like, for example, you want to teach something, or you want to like if there's something you want to um, give away to the viewers, then I think that you have at least to have some sort of a pre like how to say preparance, if there's a word like that.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
again, you want to have that, you want to have that confidence to come. But again, talking on stream, constantly talking on stream, that's a skill as well,
Yeah.
and that's
Mm.
a skill that
Definitely.
few few new streamers have, like maybe none.
Mm-hmm.
Even medium sized streamers do have that skill, but you gotta just keep constant talking. And what we talked before about building the confidence, so now you've done it, and now I think that when you're going to come to the next podcast or um, whatever you do, your next stream, you're going to be okay. I've done it. I'm still alive. It was not bad, so I'm just going to do it again.
Mm.
um, so I think in that, so you've built, you've built that. So but I think if I'm going a little bit back of putting things on the line, I think a lot of you said it in the beginning that a lot of people come to streaming because they think it's easy money. I mean, I feel like a lot of what our generation is working on or trying is stuff that are seem to them like easy money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah,
Mm.
I'm going to be famous on TikTok or Instagram and I'm going to get a lot of money, or I'm going to do that and have a lot of easy money.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people look at that and stream as well. And then when they see it's a little bit hard, after 2 weeks, they say, okay, you know what? But nothing really works like that. And I mean,
It
you
sometimes
never
does,
get
but very very
what?
rarely. Sometimes it does, but very rarely. And people take
Mm.
those examples as like the norm. And also, I wanted to say, sorry if I interrupted your line
Can you
line
give
of
an
thought.
example? Can you give an example of a big streamer that was by mistake? Let's say.
I think the OGs, like the ones that like created the
Mm.
phenomenon of streaming, that like brought it to the mainstream. I think those guys weren't planning on getting that big, and they haven't like grind and this. I think that because it wasn't even a thing back in the day. Guys like
Yeah, but Shroud. Let's say I see him now with 10K viewers. You know how long have Shrouds been streaming?
I
For
have no
10 years.
idea. I have no idea to be honest. But
For for more than 10 years.
wow.
So there was actually a guy. Oh, I don't remember him. I don't remember his name. Someone came into his stream. He has again 10K or something like that, and say, "Wow, I'm sure you're happy playing video games and streaming." And he was like, "You know what? I've been streaming every day for 4 years for 13 hours a day. So don't you tell me easy money, and don't you tell me, when you stream every day for 10 years, that's not easy money. That's
That's true.
not lucky. That's not anything.
And like you're saying, not just the streaming, it's like all the social media around it as well, and all the planning and preparation that it takes to go into the stream, the editing. It's definitely not just as simple as turning on your camera and playing a video game.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and today, imagine that we do have the tools. Everybody's streaming. Everybody's online. Imagine 10 years ago what it is to stand in front of a camera and talk or play your guitar. People look at you like, "What the hell are you doing?" Like, who the hell you think you are that you think that anybody's interested to see you? But now it's like common. Like everybody's streaming.
Yeah.
Everybody's podcasting. Everybody's taking pictures of themselves. So
Yeah.
now it's easier, really, to put yourself out. But
Mm.
10 years ago, to put yourself on social media or whatever, that would just look weird, you know?
It's easier and harder at the same time, because
Yeah.
I think that you can't duplicate success. Uh, a lot of people, they're copycatting like the role models, and which is wrong. If we take, for example, Shroud, he's unique. Not only because he grinded it up for 10 years. I'm sure this had a lot of to do. It had a lot to do with his success, but I think also the fact that he's like very very talented at like shooting
Yeah,
games.
he's a
Um,
phenomenon.
yeah, so that's probably like what he's done, and I think that that's not that this can't be taken from him. This couldn't be duplicated, which unfortunately many people trying to duplicate big streamers. Um, so that's what I'm meaning with like um, it's it's easier, but it's also harder to find like a niche or like
Mm.
to be innovative. Like if you are doing YouTube, for example, I don't know, but there are niches. There, each YouTube channel has its own niche. One can be like a gamer, specifically a certain game, specifically like tutorials in this specific game. So
Yeah.
and every niche are starting to get like the ruler, the monopoly of this niche is getting harder and harder. And you also have to have some sort of connection to this topic, because other than if you don't have any connection, you're probably not gonna produce good content. So um, yeah.
When you talked about the kinds of streamers, so in my opinion, there are two kinds of streamers.
Mm-hmm.
So one streamer is basically a master of their craft. So let's say Shroud, Ninja. It's not just the time that they're streaming; they're both pro players, played in pro teams, winning world titles and everything. And then the other one is just the guy who focuses on community, social,
Yeah.
uh, more of a content kind of the game is just another thing. It's not the value that he produces.
Mm-hmm.
So either you're a master of your craft, or you are able to form a community on your around you.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've done, I've been trying to master games, but it's just I just realized I don't have that time. I don't have that 12 hours a day to master any game or to be leading in any game. So I went more to that community, opening the streaming Facebook. I have an Israeli streaming Facebook group with about 600 people, with all streamers talking. So I went more to that community kind of thing. But if you want to form a community, you gotta work in it.
Yeah,
You gotta talk. You gotta work in that field.
I
Yeah.
agree. Also, I think I might say
Which
something.
what kind of streamers are you? Are you guys and girls?
I'm definitely more the community. I'm not very good at games. I played since I was like, and probably before I could walk. But I don't think I spend enough time with any one game, and I because it's more for fun, and
Yeah.
I quite like doing stupid things in games.
Hmm.
I'm definitely not going to master anything. So my channel's more about doing challenges in games and yeah, getting the community involved.
Yeah, it's really cool. Um,
Thanks.
I think for me, I try to be the community type of guy, but it takes a
Mm.
lot of effort for me. So I sort of naturally turn to games. Like you can see two types of streams on my channel. I'm a little bit of both. So you can see just gaming, and I also have like the Discord community, and I have like the podcast, and I have all over the place. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
Still haven't figured it out.
Well, I
And
seem to
it's
be
hard.
getting a good Discord community.
Can you? I didn't hear what you say.
You're definitely getting a good Discord community up.
Yeah,
You're
it's good. It's going pretty good.
mm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really a big thing for me.
Mm.
Definitely, I feel like I try, like, how to say, I got beaten a lot more than I can chew, if it makes sense.
Mm.
Doing all
Yeah,
those things, committing to all those things, and I'm trying to find this one thing that, like, I'm gonna shoot up with it. That's the plan.
yeah, it's really hard.
Mm. It's quite a nerve-wracking thing to do to create something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
I think as well, even though it, it seems like the actual streaming side should be the more nerve-wracking side, but actually trying to create the community around it can be quite nerve-wracking as well, which I think people don't often realize.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's pretty
I,
much
ne-
an.
I never got Discord. I never get it.
Yeah.
Really?
No, I have a group and everything, but I don't get the I don't get the concept.
I'll tell you what. I was thinking that Discord is like the best way to grow on Twitch when I started the
Mm,
group. But really quickly I understood this is like quite the opposite. Like,
mm,
the fact is, like, I talked about this yesterday, the community of small streamers, really small streamers, is so selfish and toxic for the most majority. I'm not like concluding
Yeah,
everyone, but a big chunk. And if you go like to my group, you probably find like 70% of people that spamming their links, and that's it.
yeah,
Nothing
yeah.
more to it. So
Very
um,
selfish because they're fighting for the breadcrumbs. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly. So, and I actually saw a podcast of somebody else, a very nice streamer. His name is J64, and he talked about it. And he said that he has like a Discord channel with like 3,000 people or something. And, logically, if you have like 3,000 people in a Discord and you, like, let's say you ping everyone, like at least like 100 should come. You should be at least partnered, but that's not the reality. Very few come from Discord, and I don't think that's a great channel. I think other content based social medias like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, I think these
Yeah,
platforms,
much stronger,
because
much.
because yeah, because they have discoverability, and at the same time you give some sort of a value that's about yourself. I think that's a better way, not Discord.
mm.
Yeah. Again, I don't get Discord. I don't understand people that look at I don't know 100, 200, 300. I'm a friend in Discord in I don't know 10 groups, 12 groups. One of them has 500 messages from today. Like who reads that?
Some
And it's
people
like a
do.
lot of just random stuff. Just people posting links, and then
Yeah,
people advertising something, and then
yeah.
that bot saying, "Hey, I'm live."
The
Like
biggest challenge for
it's
me,
like having like 50 WhatsApp groups. Like
yeah,
who looks at it?
because the biggest challenge is really, when having a Discord channel, everybody sees it and everybody jumps on this. But, sort of filtering the quality of the people. Let's say you're in a Discord channel and you like friends with everyone, and everybody's super chill, everybody's super nice. I think that can be a really cool place for some people, but it's almost unachievable. You're always gonna have especially in this niche of streamers, it's nearly impossible. Almost every single there are hundreds of those. Almost every single one I've been at had like I didn't really like. I have like two or three that
Yeah.
I'm active at.
When someone talked, I think in the streaming group, um, about opening a Discord, I was like, try to think why you open that.
Mm,
You know, like what is the value of it to you, and why should I come into that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
when you ask someone, okay, I'll come into your Discord. What would I see it? Notification of you going live? You're like, I have that in the Twitch. I have that in Twitch. I don't care about that. Like again, you got to understand if you don't give any value, then people are not going to come into that.
Mm-hmm.
If if the news, if I have a news company and I open a site and I don't, put something in value, people are not gonna come into that,
Yeah,
So it's the same. It's the same thing. Like, why should people come to you? What value do you produce in your Discord? So,
you have to make a confident Discord channel.
and again, I think it comes from the easy money mentality. Yeah, I'll just open Discord and I'll have a lot of viewers. It doesn't
Yeah,
work like that.
yeah, absolutely. Um, wow, it's been a hour and 60 minutes already. How are you guys feeling?
um,
Yeah, good.
Um, so I think it's a good time to wrap everything up. I think what I really liked about this talk is that somehow like there was some really good advices, and yeah, I'll put like timestamps for this, like good points that I think people can take for themselves outside of this podcast. Um, on this opportunity, I would like to thank you guys for taking the time and participating.
Thank you
Um,
for
Thank you for
inviting.
inviting me.
Make sure to check Fwaire's and Geezer's Twitch channels. And have a nice day, everyone. Bye bye.